Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I thought I would jump on and share with you what to expect with the February astrology coming up. And so I do feel February is going to be a very big month for the collective, for the Great Awakening, for the Age of Aquarius. And so without further ado, let's jump in and talk about some of the main astrology aspects that I feel are going to be prominently affecting us on the awakening path. And so February 5th, this date has really stuck with me for the last several months. And so February 5th, Mercury is entering into Aquarius. And it is also going to conjunct Pluto at 0 degrees the same day that it moves into Aquarius. And so this is like mad scientist energy. I'm a 12th house Aquarius. And so all of these aspects are going to be playing out in my 12th house. And I'm kind of excited for this. So for me, the 12th house in Aquarius is the house of spirituality. For me, it's the house that knows no bounds. And so it is mad scientist energy for me. So I do feel there's going to be a lot of spiritual initiates coming back online. And so I would say if you're going to book in a reading with me, now would be the time to do it. So I'm going to add a video card in the video for a link to press to book a reading with me if you are interested in that. But this is a time for initiates to be kind of crowned is the energy. And so mad scientist energy does awaken brilliant cosmic minds. And so, and I know for me, I'm in this constant pursuit of new information, new inspiration. Aquarian energy is all about originality. And so we want to be individuals, right? That's what Aquarian energy wants. We want nothing more than to push through our limitations and to be accepted, right? Beyond the traditions. And so I feel this is going to be a beautiful transit for those that have been going through the awakening. It's also going to be a period of intense and profound thinking and spiritual communication. So you're going to want to stay grounded. You're going to want to pay attention to which house this Aquarian energy is going to be in, because that is going to be the area of your life that is going to be most prominently affected by these energies. I feel because we got Mercury going into Aquarius, we've got Mars going into Aquarius, we've got Venus going into Aquarius, and both Mercury, Mars, and Venus are going to be conjunct Pluto, and then we're going to have Mars and Venus conjunct one another, which is this inner state of union I feel going on for us in that specific housing that these energies are alchemizing in. And so this is all going to affect us differently, right? I feel Mercury in Aquarius is going to bring forward a lot of truth, a lot of esoteric truth, a lot of Gnostic knowledge, a lot of regenerative downloads and codes as we kind of shift into these higher perceptions. So I feel like if you're like an Aquarius rising, what a time to be alive is what I want to say. But I also feel this is going to bring up control issues too, because the opposite polarity of Aquarius is Leo. And so both energies are very fixed as well. Control issues, especially between yourself and another. But I do feel these energies are going to depend on your own birth station of Mercury and the direction it was going when you were born, and how all of this is going to play out in your chart. On February the 7th, we're going to have the Sun sextile North Node. And I felt this was important to talk about because the North Node is always the karmic pathway. And so for me right now, I have got the North Node in Aries sitting in my first house of Pisces. And so things are feeling really good for me. It's this energy of, I feel just I'm attracting a lot of new possibilities, a lot of new ideas, just a lot of new opportunities I feel are being attracted to me. And I can't wait what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited for when the North Node moves into my second house of finances. But I feel the Sun sextile North Node is bringing a new inspirational, uplifting energy. And I feel this is going to be significant because we're all affected by the nodes, by the nodal aspects. And so this is also like, you know, you might be surprised at people that might step forward and help you unexpectedly. It's a lot of creative vision and creative vision energy I feel coming through in January, where I think a lot of us that have been in the dumps and the struggling and the purging for several years, it's like we're going to start to see the silver lining in the process of awakening. We're going to maybe have a stronger sense of who we are, because the sun represents our ego identity, maybe where we're headed. It's just a lot of destined energy, I feel. A lot of revelations when it comes to our true strength, our true power, our humanitarian mission. I just feel a lot of self-awareness with the sun sextile the North Node, because the North Node in Aries is the self and the sun is the ego identity, and the sun in Aquarius is all about our humanitarian efforts. But the very next day after that, we're going to have the sun square Uranus. So this could also be, it's the energy of like, what goes up must come down. And so we go into some beautiful energies. And then there's also this energy of disruption. And so this is where these energies are playing together, right? Sometimes we go through some unexpected, unpredictable towers in life where we lose our homes, we lose our jobs, we lose things that we were physically attached to. And so we oftentimes need the unexpected help from others. 555, I noticed. But any changes right now, it is going to be a change, and I feel, in our expression of individuality. And so usually we have to face constraints and challenges in order for us to shed who we are not, to get to the core of who we truly are. And so we might be tested with our beliefs, with our objectives. It's like one step forward, two steps back kind of energy. There could be like an abrupt, unexpected shift or tower or revelation or accident. So just be careful, right? I just feel the Uranus energy is going to bring a shocking revelation. Shakes up our day-to-day routine. February 9th, we have the Aquarius new moon. And it is at 20 degrees 40. And so this is at judgment energy. It's judgment energy. And I believe it is 10 of Wands. And so we're going to have to release something, because we're at this marking of a new beginning for the age of Aquarius. This new moon in Aquarius is the seeds we want to plant for the next 20 years. What do you want to do with the next 20 years of your life? And so this new moon in Aquarius for me is going to be in my 12th house. And so I know for the last several years on my awakening, it has been a very flexible journey of a lot of things leaving my life and learning to ebb and flow through a lot of losses in preparation for this beginning of this new cycle. And so this is going to be the second new moon of the year. The first new moon was the wolf moon, where many of us howled out for our tribe, to call in our tribe. And now this is the second new moon, and it is a winter new moon. And so this is also going to be the first of 3 new supermoons. And so I'm going to do a video on harnessing the eclipses and the supermoon energies. But this is going to be a supermoon energy. And so it's going to amplify the Aquarian energy of brotherhood, I feel. Group efforts, group activities, social pursuits, humanitarian pursuits, projects, doing something new, stuff like that. And so where are your efforts? Are you ready to plant those seeds? Are you ready to go through this awakening, this judgment, and lay down the burden of something that isn't working to go towards something new? So I feel we're going to have to be able to think outside of the box. We're going to have to maybe have a detached viewpoint, detaching from our emotions, right? Aquarian energy is logic. It's like the King and Queen of Swords energy. I feel more King of Swords. But we have to give our emotions a break if we're to make headway, right? We can't just be all emotions, the Leo energy. We got to have some logic. And so we have to recognize where we need to have some level of detachment, where we need to distance ourselves from something that's either a habit or a person, something or someone that's been holding us back when it comes to holding on to a negative attachment to the past. So there's going to be like a detachment from past hauntings, from past pains, I feel, and from maybe destructive behaviors that have been holding us back. This new moon is going to clash with Uranus, though. So I just feel it's a lot of impulsive, abrupt energy, but it's also a lot of innovation. On the 13th of February, we're going to have Mars in Aquarius. And then the very next day, it's going to conjunct Pluto. So I don't know how this is going to play out for Valentine's Day. But if you ask me, this is a very ruthless, aggressive root chakra energy. It felt like sacred rage. So this could be a period of time characterized maybe for the masculine collective of being highly motivated. but it is very ruthless energy. It's borderline narcissistic energy is what I'm feeling. We're also going to have Venus moving into Aquarius on February the 16th. And it's going to emphasize the importance of friends, right? Because Venus is all about friendships and maybe a new approach to love. I feel this is the month where the masculine collective is required to make these significant changes in their life. And it's not going to come in very pretty because there's going to be a lot of ego reactions as the masculine faces all of these struggles, limitations, power battles, because I think a lot of the masculines have previously played the role of the victim and they have avoided all of these confrontations. They've spent time in a very unfavorable karmic environment and situation, and that's all going to get blown up, I feel. That's all going to get blown up because the masculine, all they cared about was personal gain, and they didn't care who they hurt. And so I do feel this is going to create a major conflict around Valentine's Day for a lot of the divine masculines, and they're going to have to go into a period of reflection, hermit, so they can understand the energy that they've fostered in this negative cycle. And so I do feel there's going to be a lot of resorting to aggressive, manipulative tactics. They're going to have to understand why they've played into these negative manifestations. And we need to remember actions during this time, during this month, are going to have a major impact on the trajectory of the next 20 years of our lives. So how do you want to embrace these energies? We can embrace them and we can transform. And we can use the energy available to us to transform out of these states of victim mentality. We can choose to face the conflict and be accountable and do what we need to do, or we can fall back, right? So we do have the ability to create the life we desire. We can manifest everything, but it takes positive thought process, it takes positive action, and it takes the energy of feeling and believing that you deserve it. And so with Venus entering into Aquarius, I feel for the feminine in February, it's time, it's a time or a theme, I feel, of independence, freedom, freedom from the past, freedom from the past relationships, detaching from all of those past painful experiences of love. And I feel a lot of the feminines are coming into a newfound cosmic intellectual level. I feel a lot of the feminines are letting their intuition lead them, letting their intuition guide them is what came through. And we are just allowing ourselves to concede to the journey and surrender and release. And so with Venus conjunct Pluto on the 17th, I feel this is the feminine exuding all of this powerful energy to attract power, attracting like a magnet. It's like the feminine is attracting like a magnet, manifesting her desires, whether it's a change in a job, money, relationship. You've got the golden touch, I feel, in February, divine feminine. And so I do feel there might be a literal or a symbolic loss when it comes to something or someone that you had previously valued that needs to be released. I just feel the ending of the whole twin flame cycle is reaching completion for the feminine. And this could mean a permanent change in direction when it comes to relationships. But I feel the feminine is rising in many significant areas of her life in February. And any changes or seeds that you plant now will be definitive. So any decisions you make, I feel in February, that's going to be definitive and that's going to be your path moving forward. And so it is also the energy of all or nothing, right, when it comes to commitment. So there might be a commitment on the table, all or nothing type energy. And then on February the 18th, we have the sun going into Pisces. And so Pisces energy is altruistic, right? It's very altruistic. We're guided by our feelings. I know I am as a Pisces rising. I'm guided by my feelings. And so the Pisces energy is asking us to feel. You might find you might be lacking motivation, but we're here to feel. We're here to imagine. We're here to dream. And I do feel like it's a what will be attitude after all of that Aquarian energy. We're going to have Venus conjunct Mars on the 22nd. Both of those in Aquarius at 6 degrees 57, which was given a Lovers, Three of Swords vibe, the all or nothing energy that I channeled. And so I also feel like there's a fusion going on between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and I feel like an inner fusion. And so where is this alignment igniting you in your housing side? Because there is a fusion of these energies, flame energies for sure. But this is first and foremost within you first, right? It's a union within self. I do feel a lot of the feminines, they're enhancing their energies. A lot of sexuality exuding from the feminine, intensifying energy. I just feel a surge. It just felt like a surge. And so I feel like, I know for me, with this combination in my 12th house, this like union happening in my 12th house, it's where I really learn to just own my unique Aquarian potential, right? I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit quirky. I'm not for everybody, that's for sure. But I know I want to live my life to the fullest, and you can either join me for the ride, or you can get out of the way, because I just feel, I know I'm at a place on my journey where I'm just ready to live life to the fullest and enjoy every moment with my kids and enjoy the presence of my soul tribe and my soul family. But I do feel, you know, I have a lot of problems in relationship with my Mercury and Aries too. I'm very frank, and what you see is what you get. And sometimes I can be a double-edged sword. I can be that Queen of Swords. But anyways, we do have February 23rd Mercury going into Pisces. And so this is a lot of intuitive energy. Mercury in Pisces is all about attuning to the world of emotion, receiving the messages through our thoughts into the heart. And you know, our communication style might get a little bit messy, because it's not easy to verbalize psychic impressions during this time, right? It's not easy to verbalize psychic impressions with Mercury and Pisces. And this is like the releasing of labels too. I feel like I'm really drawn to pull away from the twin flame label per se, because I think then when we look at the twin flame journey and label it, we're looking at it in terms of black and white, and there's so many different gray areas to this very sensitive and impressionable awakening journey. So I know for me as a Pisces, I need time to go within, regenerate, and detox, because I absorb a lot of I absorb a lot of collective energies as a Pisces rising. But I feel Mercury in Pisces happens the day before the full moon in Virgo, and the full moon in Virgo is this eyes wide open energy. It's like, boom, here it is. It's at 5 degrees 22, which is the Hierophant with the Fool. And this is like an eyes wide open moment when it comes to habits, work, relationships, everything, right? And so it's like the intuitive messages are going to be louder, 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 boom. And so this will likely lead to a crisis of some sort. A crisis of consciousness, a crisis of Christ consciousness is how I channeled that energy. A sudden awareness of what is lacking in our lives, right? Which is usually the energy of Christ, the energy of love. And so we're going to be really having a hard time when it comes to exploring our emotional needs with our thought processes, I feel, and this sudden awareness of lack. So we're going to be working with the Virgo Pisces axis. So for me, I have Pisces in my first house, Virgo in my 7th house, and I am a Virgo moon. I am a Virgo moon at 22 degrees 41. And I have my moon in Virgo in my 7th house of Virgo. I have Saturn in Virgo in my 7th house of Virgo. And I have Jupiter in Virgo at 0 degrees 14 in my 7th house of Virgo. And so this full moon is going to be shining a bright light on my 7th house. So I just feel we gotta recognize the Virgo energy is all about structure and order. If I didn't have that structure and order in my day-to-day life, I'd be floating off in the cosmos every single freaking day. I have to, you know, be rooted in reality, or my spiritual self will get away with me, and I will just like employ my entire day up in the cosmos. And so finding the balance of those two energies with this full moon. And so that's what we can expect coming up for February astrology, guys. If you would like to join the channel, please feel free to check out the link below. If booking a reading is interesting for you, then check out the link for that too. But I feel now's the time to get that in. We are at a pinnacle on the journey for this awakening process, and every little bit kind of helps us work through sifting through all of the illusions and the confusion. So I'd love to get that booked in for you. I wish you all good luck this February, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video.